9, 7, 6, 5.
I let Cliff
3. Oh wow! I'll just go fuck myself.
Okay, we're back now. So we just finished a chase scene through a bazaar, and luckily none of our party members got seriously injured. That was not the case, however, for the greaser gangers. That 3 of them died during the chase.
Erica?
Yes?
My coat.
What about
the true victim? The true victim.
Counting the coat as a casualty
is ruined.
That doesn't seem like a big deal to me. But maybe I should make note of that for future. Maybe instead of just damaging you, I'll just
done. He's
make cold shots to the jacket.
One extra.
I'm out.
Please.
I'm out.
It's just dashingly asymmetrical now.
It was already asymmetrical.
But in a cool way. Now it's messed up.
Well, I mean, I could make it look cool.
What?
I think you heard me. I don't believe you got shot in one of your pointed ears. I said I could make that coat look cool.
We'll now be taking a 20-minute break for a fight to happen.
All right, we're not going to do that break. Instead, there's something that you guys are stumbling upon as you round one of the hallways that is in this level. You immediately see the flashing lights of the Absalom Station security, ABSEC. There are 2 police vehicles set up with, you can see about 6 guards wearing the familiar maroon and blue colors. They are in the process of moving some android citizens from where they're standing into the back of some of the police cruisers. If you make some perception checks to kind of notice some details about what's going on as you're making your way into the area. The environment is some businesses on one side of the area, basic shops, groceries, things like that. The other side looks like to be some homes, apartment style buildings. So the area is kind of dimly lit, like the hallways. Actually, some of the lights have been busted out, and it looks like the thing's sort of been in disrepair for quite a while. A lot of the signs for the shops are also in disrepair. This area is pretty run down, even for this part of the substructure of Absalom Station. So it's a little bit out of the ordinary.
As the bright aura around me fades into darkness, my human eyes fail to adjust, and I get an 8 on perception.
An 8 on perception? What about everyone else?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 12 on perception as I slump back in my chair, gesture at the cops, and go, "Give our balls on and all." Do any of you speak Drow?
I raise a middle finger at him, but no.
Thane has a 17 on perception, but because it's androids being handled by law enforcement, my android abolitionist front self is feeling my hackles raise a bit. So, as we are passing by, as close as we will get, I'm actually going to trigger my super cheap encryption tattoo, which is a magic item that I purchased, that if I'm within 60 feet of somebody else that's a full member of the Android Abolitionist Front, as I use my tattoo, the tattoos will glow faintly, which kind of looks like the circuitry lines that androids have. So it stands out on a non-android pretty well, but that's kind of just, he tests the waters anytime he sees androids in trouble He wants to see if it's somebody that needs him.
Yeah. So through all of your perceptions, I'm going to sort of like combine it all together. So you notice that there's some signs that are on the ground, kind of where a group of the androids are huddled. There's about 8 of them still together, and the signs are basically protest signs, android rights, and those sorts of things. It looks like there was a protest happening here, and the cops have come to break it up. You notice that there's definitely some damage to several of the androids. There's bruised faces, some slight sparking on a few of them. One of them notices your symbol as you pass by and shows his in return. The cops notice you definitely, and there's a half-orc in particular that notices your sort of defiance, and the orc has like a big scar through his eye, from forehead running down through the cheek, white greenish skin with a short hair, and he's approaching your vehicle and starting to pull out a weapon and puts his hand up to sort of stop you.
All right.
What the hell is this?
Thane will kind of casually kind of gesture, looking like, he's holding up his empty hands, but like one of them is pointedly kind of a little wave towards Velasco that is super secret Thane sign language for "don't murder this one yet." Right? It's just that sort of like a down symbol, and he'll start he'll turn all the way sideways and like put his feet outside of the cart and like start to stand up in a very clear, like, I'm taking point, your problem is with me. If my buddies want to speed away, they can. Like this is my problem. But also, to be approaching in a nominally friendly way, and attempt to open a kind of diplomatic channel with this guy despite being kind of surly, because I know how the rules are supposed to work. So yeah, he'll just kind of start to stand up, hands up, give a pleasant smile that perhaps doesn't quite reach his eyes, and just go, "What seems to be going on, officer?"
So he eyes you up and down and looks at the rest of your companions, pausing for an extended period of time looking at Velasco.
Yeah. I had her, oh shit, let me turn the engine off, and I step out of the vehicle, and Zan steps out as kind of you see kind of a tallish human woman, relatively thin, wearing what looks like a black set of maybe a gi, like a martial arts outfit. Under that is second skin armor and tattoos down one arm, and dark hair, and she kind of steps out and it just kind of defers to Thane as this happens.
Just
So as soon as you
just one
step out
second.
okay.
You have lightsabers, you wear a karate gi, and you're a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's awesome. Sorry. Please continue. Lucas Skywalker. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
I can't say I'm similar to any copyrighted ideas out there, but yes.
So the orc says, "Stop right there. Get back into the vehicle."
Hands in the air, and I needler pistol on my side. I step back in the vehicle. Oh, you thing.
Cadet Caligos Thane of the Steward Academy, retired. How can I help, officer?
Eyes roll.
Just stay right there. We've got things under control. And then he says, "Wait a second. You look kind of familiar." And it's like, I'm going to have to call in some backup. So he gets on his phone, his comlink, and he says, think I found the people from the report that was just called in. So essentially, he's reporting you as involved with the shooting that took place, is what you gather.
And this is bad.
And there's about how many cops and about how many androids?
There are 6 cops there, and there are about a dozen androids, but 4 of them have been cuffed and put into the back of the police vehicles so far.
All right, then, I will continue to serve as a distraction to give some of the androids a chance to get away if they need to. Well, everyone, you heard the officer. Out of the car. What exactly is it that seems to be the issue? We weren't here for this peaceful protest.
Oh, this protest wasn't peaceful? What gave you that idea? We wouldn't be here if it would have been peaceful.
Well, only the androids seem hurt.
They were resisting arrest.
Were they arrested for bullshit reasons?
Of course not. How could you even suggest that?
What is your diplomacy?
Not great.
Mine is, I just haven't decided to use it just yet. But he's offering help. He goes, what is it we can do to help you secure the scene?
We have it under secure already. We do not require any further assistance. If you could just wait right here, we will have someone along to assist you.
Thing, this is going to be one of those things.
Yeah, no, we're fine. We can just turn around and go.
We should just go.
Am I being detained, officer? I don't recall you mentioning any particular charges against me.
He makes a motion to his ear, like he's listening to something, and
We should go before he
and it
gets
says,
the charge.
"Wait right here. Don't go anywhere."
Thane, are we doing this or are we doing this?
And he looks over back to some of his buddies, and he calls out to them, "Come over here. We need to arrest a few more people."
There are 4 of us and we're heavily armed. You should bring friends.
Oh, sounds like we're
As you
doing
say,
this.
friends.
Was that your diplomacy check?
He is serving as a distraction for androids in need.
You're using us as a distraction for androids in need. What's gonna happen? They're not even real people. They're just androids. We could build more.
You should never say things like that around Thane.
That's why I said it.
So the distraction that you're providing
great.
does actually work. A few of them kind of slip off out of view.
Erica, I put my hands together and as I separate them apart, I summon my Solarian weapon, which is this long broadsword-looking, glowing white light. Sounds like we're doing this.
And Thane
And
will
we're
be
some fucking robots.
Thane will be a little sarcastic when he describes the group as heavily armed, because he's just wearing station wear flight suit, just like the casual bodysuit thing, and the only weapon he's got on him, he's got a little collapsible tactical baton on one hip, and his non-lethal pulsecaster pistol on the other. So he'll just be like, "We're heavily armed," as he is clearly not. He's
My
got-
tail's sticking up out of the back seat because I'm looking for the gun that's fallen under the front seat.
Yeah, we're pretty hardcore here.
I step out of our car with my massive Series 21 plasma guide sniper rifle and casually walk over to Thane, hands in my pockets, so quietly puffing my aposte and cigarette, and walk over to Thane. You know, if you're going to give me so much guff about having to pull my bacon out of the fire, you could at least wait a little while before you put all of ours right back in it.
He's got a point.
If you want to go, you can go.
Hey, I found it! Popped up with my gun.
A silence follows her adorable chirp as I shrug, turn, and walk off into the shadows.
We're fucked.
You don't quite get that far. During the conversation that you're having, 3 more of the ABSEC vehicles pull into the area, each with 4 officers in it. So
The numbers are looking bad thing.
So they're all drawing weapons and pointing them in your direction.
No,
Even if we all
Tell
take
you to
out 2.
stand down.
their eyes are on
my
us.
direction? My direction or me?
Their eyes are on us, so
at
the
the
numbers
group.
are fine.
Have
They're
any
yelling
more,
at you, get on the ground.
have
drop
any
the
more
weapons.
androids got away?
Yes. At this point, the rest of the androids have scattered, and even a couple have gotten out from the back seat of other vehicles, still cuffed, and have sort of made off as well.
I mean, whatever happens to us isn't going to be as bad as what was going to happen to them. So Thane's like, this is a win, and I didn't even have to shoot anybody. So he will give a helpful, non-threatening smile, keeping his hands up, and like, of course, officer.
Zane is standing in a battle stance, Solarian weapon out, and as she sees Thane basically surrender, eyes roll, Solarian weapon vanishes, and she puts her hands in the air while grumbling.
So
I
put
take
the
my
gun
hands
down.
out of my pocket. Sorry, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, that was it. I just put the gun down and climb out of the car, looking small and defenseless, like an Ahsoki, without super cool magic powers.
Wink. I will take my hands out of my pockets, let one hang limp at my side, the other one cigarette.
Okay. So the ABSEC moves in and puts you in cuffs, confiscates your weapons, and will escort you to the nearest holding facility.
So is this a bad time to mention this vehicle stolen?
Out loud, yes.
I didn't know that.
If I worship the gods of my ancestors, I'd be asking Lamashtu and Orcus for help right about now.
Demons, you mean?
Oh, you lesser races and your delinations.
You know that
Power
lesser
is
that
power
lesser
is power.
Lesser races wasn't in Drow. You know that, right?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to fast forward a little bit to the point where you're in this holding cell. Just the 4 of you. There's a bunch of guards kind of outside, but not like literally right outside the cell. So
Well, as a
they've told
lesser
you that-
race... Oh, go ahead.
So they've told you it'll be some time before the person in charge of your case can make their way down here.
Oh,
So
good.
get comfy.
A court
As a
appointed
lesser
lawyer.
race, I can find no way out of this cell. What you guys?
So the cell itself, let me describe it to you so you know kind of what it's like being in here. So it's about 7 feet by 5 feet. You figure it's kind of big enough to hold maybe 5 people comfortably, and which means they probably fit about a dozen people here normally when they're using it. But luckily for you, you're the only 4 in here. There is 2 metal benches along 2 of the walls. The other wall has a bathroom that's kind of just like out in the open, and the other side is like a plasma wall that doesn't hurt you when you touch it. It's just a physical barrier that you can't pass through, but you can see through it.
I know exactly how we're getting out of this cell, and that's patience. Your laws are stupid, but they work for us.
The walls are like cinder blocks, cold and it's not very well lit like all the other places in this floor. There is something growing in one of the corners, sort of like a moss, but it smells funky. Not like how mold smells, but it has like this weird mushroomy type herbal smell to it. It would smell good if it weren't for the fact that it was growing out of cinder block.
Well, let's hope Patience gets out of here before somebody needs to use that. I point to the exposed toilet.
Who's Patience and how are they helping us?
Our patients, by just not panicking and not giving them anything extra to charge us with.
I didn't think you owned any slaves.
If you joke about that again, they'll be able to charge me with assault with intent.
I look at the mushrooms. Oh, this is almost like home. Take another puff of my cigarette, which smells almost like apple pie, but with way too much cinnamon.
I'm going to sit in one of the corners and basically cross my arms across my chest and fold my legs and meditate.
The laws of Absalom Station are clear, and they are more beholden to them than we. We killed no one save in self-defense, and there is a bazaar full of witnesses that will say as much, along with the execrable reputation of the Greaser gang.
And we were running away. They could see that on the surveillance.
And I suppose you all have permits for those weapons.
I do. Mine was purchased by a steward officer, no less.
Oh, my daddy's a steward officer.
My mother, but I don't expect a drow to know the difference.
As I try to meditate, I'm left with a little smirk, because that's pretty funny.
My face literally goes, I will kill you. You have touched one of his rare sore spots.
Yeah, you mean like by joking about him owning slaves? I heard it from you, Kev.
Out of character, fair is fair. I love it. In character, I'll kill you. And I'll sell your organs. I know the people.
Mother, father, you guys are too tied up on labels.
Long as I'm the father. But with your pretty little antenna.
Oh, you guys are creeping me out.
So all we have to do is wait. Eventually, they have to charge us. When they charge us, we defend ourselves. Their stupid laws let us go. And even if none of that happens because the system is innately corrupt and favors the wealthy, we're still better off as a species because the androids got away.
Wait a minute. That's it. Is anybody here wealthy?
You know, up until the end, you sounded like a drow. It was almost like being on Aspate. Aposte. Fuck.
No. To answer your question, San. No.
Yeah, no dice here either.
My family's comfortable.
Enough.
Unfortunately, they're unreachable due to the Scoured Stars incident, but the Thane name still means something.
Well, what can be effectively an orphan? It's fun.
How did I end up with you people? I'm not a criminal.
Blades in the Dark rule. Flashback.
It's just her. You guys want to do some crime?
Yeah. There's crime. Crime sounds good. I'm up for crime. What kind of crime?
The way I see it, we're all innocent bystanders of circumstance, except the drow.
He was innocent. He went to buy some smokes, and these people jumped him.
Well, I'm willing to
allow
70-80% of racism, but
he's part of the crew. He's part of our crew.
All we have to do is wait.
The tiniest shadow of a smile, but not looking at anybody.
I shut my eyes again with that and begin meditating, waiting for this to all end.
I think that's over to you, Erica.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to talk more about some background, since I'm sure our viewers don't know all that much about your characters.
I still think we should play that out at a later date.
That's completely fine. So yeah, you guys are in there for quite some time, actually. Not really.
They feed us?
They haven't yet. It has been a few hours, and you're definitely sure that it would not have taken this long for someone who was at the top levels of the station to make their way down here. So something is going on.
At this point, I am. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So maybe you're not exactly a high priority for them, or something else might be happening.
At this point, I am bored enough. I am laying on my back with my legs against the wall, just kind of like glaring up at the ceiling.
Throughout our wait, Thane will be resolutely optimistic and critical of the laws at the same time. So, like, he can cite like the exact code that they would have us under for the reckless driving and like the endangerment and the discharging a plasma weapon and the combat magic in public. And then he knows the laws, but he's very clearly disdainful
I am
of them.
a criminal.
Actually, if you're going to discharge combat magic in public, there's a lesser sentence for magic missile because it is unerringly accurate. There's no chance of property damage, which is what the corrupt masters of Absalom Station are primarily concerned with. But also, no
I
chance
stand
of
up.
an inaccurate shot.
Cast dancing lights outside of the plasma field and guide them toward the guard station as best I can guess.
Okay. So the lights kind of like bounce and dance a little bit, and quickly they get out of view from you. But after a few moments of kind of like trying to like just move them around with your mind blindly, you hear some commotion about this from down the hallway, and first it's a little bit confusing, but then eventually they just stop reacting to kind of like let me think for a moment. So what they say is holy shit, what's that? And then they realize what it is, and then they just say, oh, it's just dancing lights, it'll be gone in a few minutes, but maybe we should get someone to deal with this situation. And so someone comes walking down, and it's that half orc again, and now he looks even more pissed than he was before.
Hey, we haven't been fed anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. What kind of food were you expecting?
Oh, can we choose?
No.
The kind, we'll purchase it for ourselves as soon as you released us, or booked us, or charged us, or anything Kitrecuver.
Yeah, don't we get a lawyer?
Maybe. We'll see. In the meantime, though, it seems that you have a visitor here. Someone who's a little bit more friendly than me. And he kind of like glares at you, and then...
Such a thing is possible?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I found your hospitality to be nostalgic.
I think it's crap.
I'm with Zan.
Right?
All right. So he says, come with me. We have a...
Barely even broken laws.
So he makes the big plasma field go away, and then shows you to a room that has a few chairs in it, and what is probably very likely one-way glass along one side.
I'll get up and follow. And as I get into the room, I'll grab one of the chairs, turn around backwards, and sit in it wrong.
Ooh, rebel.
Yeah.
Such a rebel.
Rebel.
Tell us about the time your dad put out cigarettes on your arm.
He made me smoke the whole box.
We'll give Sparks a makeover, and then we'll all dance in the library.
She smooths her whiskers. I look fine.
They are very nicely kept whiskers.
Yes, you're adorable, Jor.
A little bit smoldering from that laser earlier, but yes, you look fine, Sparks.
All right, so
You're supposed to have a 2 on one side, 3 on the other side, right?
yeah, probably. The room you're in is a lot more sterile of an environment than what you've been in for a while. The lights are actually quite bright in here. There's a stainless steel table that's in there, and it's completely clean. And as soon as you're just getting used to the room, in walks a human man. He has a scar that kind of runs along his left cheek all the way down to the front of his chin. He smells strongly of cigar smoke. He has medium length amber brown hair, and he gestures for you all to sit down and takes a seat on the opposite side of the table.
I take a small whiff and then remain in my seat.
Sit.
Okay.
Thane will obstinately remain standing, actually. I don't think I need to sit because I shouldn't be here long, because I haven't been charged with anything.
He just kind of looks up at you for a moment, and then kind of just rolls his eye, and then looks over at Belasco, rolls his eyes again, and says, okay. Well, all of you have been in quite some action today, and you're starting to cause a lot of problems. So he looks up at Zan. You sort of have a long rap sheet here, and he starts listing off things.
That can't be true. Those are all
drunk and disorderly.
Okay, that was.
You've been in some fights in public while you were drunk and disorderly.
I didn't start it.
You stole an ABSEC security vehicle, and then you crashed it.
I needed to get somewhere fast.
Sure. He looks up at Thane, who's standing.
Isn't it technically all of ours since we all pay taxes?
No.
Wow.
It is not yours to use.
Time to try.
He addresses Thane, and you are in the Academy for Stewards, and yet you've fallen this far.
How far have I fallen? You haven't charged me with anything.
I look real disappointed in him. Like I want the.
Should we review the activities from that market? You're putting innocent lives in danger.
We were defending ourselves from an attack from a known gang, the Greasers. I'm sure that if you looked, you would find a file for them. Or are you busy harassing law-abiding citizens and innocent, peaceful protesting androids?
You know, it's weird thing. I don't see any greasers in here at all.
One step forward, 2 steps back.
We were able to recover the bodies of those gangers that you murdered.
Self-defense is not murder, and one of them was killed by his compatriots. I believe they were disappointed with his progress in the chase.
We were trying to end that whole altercation by getting away.
Yeah. I'm sure that's how you see it. There are a lot of people who are scared in that bazaar. You frightened a lot of people and put their lives in danger. You're firing indiscriminately into the crowd. Yes, you might have been defending yourself, as you say, but those errant shots could have killed someone.
You're absolutely right.
So
what we should have done.
At worst, you were putting them in danger, and at best, it was reckless endangerment.
then charge us with reckless endangerment.
In the future, we should probably just let ourselves be shot. That's what I've come to expect of law enforcement.
That'd probably be best for your kind. Yes, I agree.
Oh, come on. That's uncalled for.
You don't get to talk to him like that.
No,
I get to do whatever I damn well please.
Only we should have the brow.
I've been made aware, or at least I've been told, that Absalom Station is a place where all sentient races might be able to come for some measure of acceptance and fair treatment.
Yes, if you follow the rules and don't get into trouble. And yet here we are.
Indeed, attacked by gangers are crimes. Heaven forbid. Why don't you forbid all weapons on station, then?
Oh, don't remember, Oscar. There was the running from the gangers, too, that we did. Another crime.
Yes. Shame on us for retreating from gangers who came after us. Shame on us. You should probably arrest all the market vendors, too. They were there. How dare they?
We should have done what the station security said. Wait, I don't recall any of them being there.
Gracious, you're right. If only there had been some security around to try to, I don't know, stop the criminals. Instead, we stop upon what appears to be some kind of pseudo-lawful intervention of a peaceful protest, and then we're arrested for being victims.
Now, Erica, do you need like a fortitude save for fatigue against us digging ourselves in deeper, or?
No, this is absolutely fine. You can dig as deep as you want.
Look, Officer, I'm sorry, what was your name?
My name is Captain Heralda.
Oh, Captain Heralda. Is that an Eoxian name? Because the level of peace you're describing would only come from mindless undead automatons.
Yeah.
The mention of Eox, my eyes narrow.
Look, despite the disagreements that we have here, clearly mostly political in nature, it would seem, it is not up to me whether or not you are charged. In fact, there is someone who has arranged for your safe transport out of here and requests a meeting with you. So, despite upsetting a few different prominent factions here on the station, someone is at least vouching for you. And let me just give you some advice. It's probably best for you just to get off the station now before all the rest of the factions that you've upset come hunting for you.
Off the station? Yeah, okay. I'm in.
Difficult to manage without a ship. But your threat of favorable treatment being proffered to the factions hunting us rather than offering us protection has been duly noted, Captain.
He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a slip of paper and he puts it on the table and he says, you can pick up your gear from the locker storage room and be on your way. It's best if we don't meet again.
We'll be careful not to peacefully deliver ourselves unto your hands anytime soon.
I suspiciously get up and leave.
Thane will take the piece of paper and pointedly not look at it until we're walking away and stuff.
All right, before I leave. Oh, we won't get to meet again? The shame of it. The scandal.
I'm still dubious, but I'm leaving.
Spark, as we gather Spark, did you mind control him? What the fuck's happening?
I don't mess with people's brains. They're messy and gooey.
You're not wrong.
Let's just recover our goods and be on our way.
Yes, let's leave now.
All right.
Thane.
So I have very little pickup other than my armor, which I'll quickly change back into kind of aside from everybody, and my needler pistol, which is really kind of this shitty haphazard weapon. It's not very good. It's definitely a sidearm. Comm link to this and that. But I grab my gear and I leave the locker room.
I pick up my wickedly curved survival knife, flip it expertly, and put it in its sheath, and then lovingly pick up my plasma rifle, which is maybe goes from about my mid-thigh to the tip of my head. It is black, wicked looking, and has lots of those sharp little curves and spikes that Apastain design seems to favor. You can still see the quiet, glowing green thrum of the power cell processing into plasma in a sort of cylindrical mid-chamber with 3 dots.
My gun looks like a toy next to his because it kind of is. It's a little bitty hail pistol.
I mean, it does shoot like lethal little icicle darts, so you're kind of like May.
Yeah, exactly. It is basically May's gun, right?
Choo choo. Pew pew.
Thane's pulsecaster pistol is sleek and legal, and just kind of a standard, law-friendly self-defense thing. It's what his mom gave him for his walking around the station gun years ago, probably prior to his cadet training, etc., etc. It's just an easy little non-lethal gun, so he'll hold lit and then lean over towards Sparks as we're leaving the station. What do you need?
Do you know who is pulling the strings to get us out of here?
Nobody I know lives in this part of the woods.
That's why I was asking Thane.
It wouldn't be someone from this district, or it wouldn't have taken them so long. We'll read the note once we're clear.
All right, so the note says, it just has a name on it. Ilya Nalana, Talent Acquisition Specialist, Pathfinder Society. Sorry, Starfinder Society.
Ha!
Later on Galarian.
Well,
Not yet.
it looks like we've been approached by the Starfinder Society. I wondered how long.
Starfinder Society?
And
They have
does-
ships.
Yeah, does the Starfinder Society have starships, I assume?
They're made of them.
It's rather difficult to find the stars without the ability to fly among them. Yes, they have quite a few.
Then I'm in.
Oh, one good telescope.
Mm,
I wondered how long it would take for one of Father's compatriots to reach out to me.
this is your doing.
But not directly. I was in the cell the whole time.
Sure, it's fine. I kind of nod to him. Good job.
I told you the Thane name still means something in some corners of Absalom Station. Mother served with the stewards for over a century, but Father has been with the Starfinders for quite some time.
If it gets us off this goddamn station, I'm with it.
Yeah. I want to get out of here. This place is just full of bad memories and terrible cops.
More
Right.
of the same.
Well, the good news is, depending on who you ask, all roads lead to the Starfinder headquarters. So, all we need to do is walk until we find some available method of public transport, and we will get a ride.
I'm guessing they won't let us get the vehicle I stole out of lockup.
It's not ours.
No, it's long gone.
I consult my wrist comp. Well, I have 108 credits. You think that's enough to buy transport? I don't.
No.
We don't
But
need to
it's enough to buy some drinks as we walk that way.
need to hire a cabbie or something. It's not like we need to buy the car to drive there.
No. I'm with Zan on this one. At the very least, I owe you a round.
Perhaps I should wait until
All right,
after
I'll
we
take
meet.
back 40% of what I said with this guy.
40%. That's a lot.
Drinks
What a
can
saving.
wait. Drinks can wait until after we meet this talent acquisition specialist.
right,
Good
all right.
thinking, Caligos. After all, they might provide them.
They likely shan't, but they will provide nothing if we show up drunk and appear useless.
Who said anything about getting drunk?
I implied it heavily.
So,
Okay, I guess we better
will
meet.
make our
I
way
guess we better go
towards.
meet Alania.
Yeah, so you guys head your way there, and going through the different districts along the way, either walking or eventually finding some sort of transport to take you. It's not difficult to get there at all. Upon arriving, presenting her name to the people in the front of the reception area gets you escorted to her offices.
Yeah, Thane absolutely walks around like Starfinder HQ as though he were raised there, largely because he kind of was. So he's just like, yeah, it's over this way. That's where they handle this. That's where this is. He'll even point out a few things, like as we're crossing, kind of the campus. So yeah, he's absolutely comfortable and at home here.
Yep, so eventually you wind up inside of her office, and she's an elven woman that's rather tall, about 6'11". She seems about middle-aged for an elf, for what that's worth. So, a huge range of possible ages that could be. Her hair is styled in an undercut style, so shaved on one side and then long and draped over the other side. And it's a deep, bright blue. She's wearing professional attire. Her office is decorated very fancily. There's a wooden desk with very valuable woods. There's wood paneling around the room. Some very fancy artwork on display. The room smells like perfumes, and it's a very comfortable place to be, unlike where you just spent the last 5 or 6 hours.
I'm gonna take a proper seat, unlike back in this police station, and kind of nod to her and thank her and say, "Forgive our erratic attire, ma'am. What is this all about?" And I actually remember else be sitting down, so
Cross my arms, lean against a wall.
Thank you all for coming here. I understand that you sort of had a difficult day so far.
There were mistakes were made.
it was pretty good till I got up.
I smirk at Sparks.
Very well. Mistakes happen. That's no big deal. We here at the Starfinder Society think that mistakes can lead to progress, and we're hoping that those mistakes can lead to progress in you and mutual benefit here. As you have probably heard in the last while, the Scoured Stars incident and our expedition to investigate what is going on has led to some very unfortunate set of circumstances for the Starfinder Society. We're sort of at a point where we're looking to increase our talent again, and that's the job that I provide here, is that I look for people who have the talent necessary to do the sort of work that we like to do. And despite the troubles that you may have had here on the station, you do display that exact talent that we were looking for in the Starfinder Society. So we've identified you, your group specifically, as a group that we would like to bring into the society. There is someone who found you, who's sort of been keeping an eye on you, and passed your names along to me, which she taps a stack of papers and says, and based upon what I've seen here, I tend to agree with this person. So I'd like to invite you to to work for the Starfinder Society, exploring the galaxy, unraveling mysteries, and helping us gain a better understanding of our galaxy and how things work.
First, we're going to need a name. Who is this person you speak of?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss that at this time.
That's fine. We're in.
Be on a starship.
Well, provided you accept, of course.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. You're not interested?
I will not be joining the Starfinder Society to explore the universe, unravel mysteries about the planets we inhabit, and learn more about the cosmos. I will offer my services to the Starfinder Society if it will relieve pressure needed so that more resources can be allocated to the rescue of those lost in the Scoured Stars incident.
Well, of course.
I'm sorry, how much does this pay?
And again, we'll be on a starship?
You will be fairly compensated for the activities that you undergo while working for us. Have no fear. And yes, we can definitely arrange a starship for your use while working for us.
Then I'm in.
Score.
Thane's posture is very, brittle and tense in a way that he wasn't, literally while being arrested a few hours ago, and in a way that it certainly wasn't while being shot at by gangers for a crime he did not commit. So, you can tell that, he meant what he said about how he's going to justify to himself helping the Starfinder Society. Like this very...
Out loud, at length.
Yes, but, he's way more, tense right now than you guys have seen him in the past, even in life-threatening situations and stuff. So he
the
just
hell's wrong with you, Thane? Let's say out loud.
Taught.
So are we in agreement then? Is this acceptable to you?
I really want to accept. I look at Thane. What the hell's wrong with you?
I mean, because without me, you would still be sitting in that jail cell. So you're welcome to go back to, those sorts of activities if you want. But I have a feeling you might be more interested in this line of work.
So without you, several jail officers would be dead. Yeah. I'm in.
I will expect insider information in the status of the Scoured Stars rescue attempts.
We can definitely provide you with information later on down the line as soon as we build up a better working relationship. But yes, we can definitely share information along those lines. And I understand why you're so interested in Thane.
So he will be taught as a bowstring, is how I would describe it in a fantasy setting. Instead, he's taught as, I don't know, some hydraulic sci-fi thing. But then he'll grudgingly offer a hand across the desk.
Okay. She takes your hands and shake hands with anyone who offers a handshake.
Yeah, I'll greet her with one.
Okay. So then she opens up one of the document.
What does Velasco say?
I smile serenely and shrug my assent, almost non-committally.
Does he take her hand to accept the deal?
If I must.
Please do.
And I do.
Very well. She opens up one of the folders that she has, and she looks down there and says, yes, about the starship, I do see here that your family's starship, the Madrigal, she's looking at you, Thane. I see here that you've lost it some time ago to the Pale Washer pirates and slavers. Is that correct?
I could get away with slaves, or I could get away with a thing. I chose to leave the thing.
And I'm not judging you. You're here today, maybe without your starship, but you are intact. So, what we are going to offer is a newly commissioned Pegasus class starship. It comes with a new experiment that we're testing out. We have an artificial intelligence that we are going to be loading onto this ship to help out with some tasks. It can do a number of things, from piloting the ship, using any of the scanners, even firing the weapons if you should need to defend yourselves. It should be fairly useful to you, I would imagine.
Historically speaking, the odds are good we will need to defend ourselves.
Yes. Yeah, I imagine that to be the case as well.
Yeah, and like as soon as Thane decided he was in, like he leaned over her desk interestedly to look at the files. His disarming smile is back. Like all the tension bled out of him. Like once he committed, like he was in 100%.
Yep. So she'll hand you the
over
a dossier on the
specs.
ship.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Erica.
So she'll hand over that folder. It has a dossier on the ship and the specifications, the sort of like some pictures and a loadout on it. She also continues, and we will. So she says the AI is called Sally, and it stands for the Starship Artificial Intelligence Experiment. Also, in addition to the Starship, as a signing on bonus, because I imagine that you may not have all the supplies you may want when venturing into the stars. As a signing bonus, here is 1,000 credits for each of you to spend to get any gear you might need for your travels.
This is the best decision we've made all day.
I'm going through these AR windows of the ship specs and just kind of nodding along. Yeah, I'm in.
Much smarter of us than rescuing Belasco, yes.
All right, so the first assignment for you is to travel to the Arondo System Starbase and meet with the regional commander there, Captain Mendelson. Goes by the nickname Cap.
I'm sure that doesn't get confusing.
I'm not familiar with the station, but I'm sure
it was confusing earlier in his career before he made the rank of captain. Yes.
Lieutenant Cap.
Can I attempt a culture roll to see what I know about that station?
Yeah, go for it.
Because that's kind of his jam. I rolled a 15, which gives me a 23.
Okay. So that system is pretty far away from the Pact Worlds. It'll take quite a long time in order to reach it through the drift. It's a small space station that's mostly used by traders and a few explorers, but really mostly it operates as a trading post in the region. And there's not too many people that live there full time. There's a small complement of Starfinder Society employees that work there. So there's the captain and 4 other members that do day-to-day work, sort of cataloging the area and trying to track down rumors and what might be going on in the region that would be of interest to the Starfinder Society.
Thane will relay that with, we only visited there once. I remember it was a long flight.
The name that the locals give to it is Fortune.
I've heard of Fortune Station. That's a pretty rough place, isn't it?
Promising.
We'll have time to read up on the way there.
Like, yeah, this hellhole.
It's not here.
I'm going to
And
grab
we'll
my
be on a
credits. I agree enthusiastically. I grab my credits and I begin to bolt if they'll let us.
If they'll let us.
Yeah. She says if there are no further questions, you are free to go about your business.
Yeah,
I've already palmed my credits.
I'll obviously get the location of where we'll meet up and whatever docking bay it is, and I will head towards the shopping center with my nice, big, thick, heavy credit stick.
Jeez, man.
Thane will offer Sparks a 2-credit tour of the Starfinder Society campus because she was asking a few questions on our way there, like where the archives are and stuff. So, like, he'll let the other two wander off to go be greedy mercenaries or cool anime lone wolves. But, like, her, he'll walk around with a little bit and share a couple little stories about, like, oh, this one time over here, and when I was 9, I tripped and fell all the way down these stairs. That was terrible. And, just like all these little stories that are, like, spread out, like, literally across his whole life. We're about once a year or so. He was clearly, like, on campus and paying attention to stuff and, here pretty routinely, but clearly not here a lot of the time, too.
We're all lone wolves.
I'm not a lone wolf.
step
You
in-
guys are important.
I'm gonna step away just for a second, but I go back to the Delta, go over to a pawn shop, slap down the 1,000 credits, and say, "There, I'm out of hock," and walk out.
Excellent.
So next session will be a repeat of this session.
I do need to go to. I'm not sure what you would.
You're
A place in the
What?
free market area where they would sell, like a talismonger shop.
Oh yeah, that's not a problem. Once you're up at this area of the station, it's very easy to find those kinds of shops. The more legal kind of shops that contain those items, and a much wider selection.
Well then, excellent.
Thane will go with you, by the way. Like, he'll just, like, hang out and walk around with you for a little bit, being friendly, sharing stories when he has one. But yeah, he's just gonna hang out with you while you're in the neighborhood because he needs you to make a stop somewhere else in the neighborhood.
Okay. I had a purchase list. I will share it with you later. I'm not buying anything really big. A couple of spell gems, that kind of thing.
Okay. Just give me one or two, and we can sort of flavor that a little bit. Like, what's one thing you want to go, and we'll take care of that right now.
I'm looking for an iridescent aeon stone.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk into a shop, and it's kind of like this little cozy of a shop. It smells like incense. There's beautiful lights all over, stones and display cases kind of catch the lights and reflect it back in various directions. So it's very colorful in here. And the shopkeeper is a Lashanta and pays close attention to you, welcomes you into the shop. How may I help you today?
I'm in the market for an aeon stone of the type that would, the iridescent kind, the kind that keeps me from having to breathe.
Ah, yes. I know just what you're looking for. Wait right here. I think I have it just in the back. We were putting some of those into a display case to put out later today. Let me go find it real quick. So he disappears into the back.
As he turns to go, like, Thane's antenna will glow just a little bit, His eyes are always like faintly glowing blue, just a tinge. And when he's using his Lashunta telepathy, the tips of his antenna glow about the same. And he's going to do like the silent talk thing to the other Lashunta and just say like, the little one has not been off the station much before. We're going to space soon, and I think she's nervous. Just kind of a bemused, protective older brother type of, but doing it silently so she doesn't hear that he's,
Okay. So he pauses, he looks back and smiles back at you and says, "We'll take good care of you here." And then goes back into the back. He returns about 10 seconds later with this small little crystal and kind of like weighs it in his hand and says, "Yeah, this is the one." And he hands it over to you. It's sort of translucent a bit, but definitely reflects a lot of light as well.
Are they about like that big?
Yeah. Yep.
I will. Oh.
Your audio is cutting out a little bit.
Orbit around my head.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, yes, this is what I need.
It looks amazing on you.
There you go. See? Safe and sound.
Well, it's mostly for, I don't understand this ship yet, and I'm gonna be down in some. Ships can make some noxious gases when you're working on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is what I need. So, do you have any like just spell gems?
Spell
should
gems, of course. Do you have a specific one in mind, or would you like to see our collection?
May I see your collection, please?
Yeah. So he gestures over to a case on the wall that contains about 15 different ones of various colors and sizes.
I'm looking for Grace because I wish I'd had it during that chase today.
Okay. Yeah, there's one there he points to and said, "This is Grace that you're looking for."
And then I want to get one that's for keen senses.
Okay. And he like moves around a little bit and eventually stumbling on that one. It's a light green color.
If he has more than one of those, I'll take two.
He only has one, unfortunately.
Okay. And then I don't think I need this other one that was on my wish list because I have the iridescent spindle.
So what do those do? Just
Well, the keen senses, the green one, is it helps to you hold it in your hand and it allows me to cast the spell, even though I have not slotted it for today in my cache.
okay.
And so that spell specifically, gives me pluses to perception checks. Grease is an awesome spell that I again don't have access to through my cache yet, but it does produce an area of thick like mechanics grease that makes it very difficult for things to move through that area without falling on their butt.
Okay. Yeah,
And
so
then the spindle, of course, is the one that it's a sparkly. Just so you know, Belasco, because you will see it next time. But it's a sparkling stone rolling around my head.
Well, that won't attract attention.
not at all.
It's totally subtle. And it also makes it so that I don't have to breathe.
Okay, that is pretty useful.
Indeed.
Okay, so you pay for those, and it's not a problem. Does anyone else want to kind of talk through some of their purchases?
I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna head down to a arms and ammo dealer called Port 7 Arms and Ammo, ran by a drow named Jim, which is a very traditional drow name. Most people don't realize that.
Yeah, I know that asshole.
Basically, I'm gonna approach him. Hey, Jim.
Oh, you again. What do you want?
Yeah, I'm looking for something specific. An azimuth laser pistol, not that fucking mass-produced shit. Old school, Magnari Peaceworks model, maybe, with the Intangling Fusion.
Right.
Pre-AG 291, if possible. They had the good metal.
Yeah. Yeah, Velasco, if you want to be here for this, that's good.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
I step out from behind one of the shelves. Jacargadonda,
Shit.
What are you saying so that I can interact back with you?
I'll roll my eyes, whatever he says.
I pick up the gun that Jim, Ellis Island are names like that. Put down, pick it up, pop it open, and show him that it's hollow. Then give it back to Jim and say in Drowish, "The real thing, please. I can't have this one dying on me."
Yeah, and again, pre-AG 291, I'm going to add, even though I don't really know what he said. Again, the metal was better then. They didn't start diluting it with this other shit.
He looks a little upset that you caught on so quickly, and kind of just scowls at you, and then reaches out to like a drawer of things, and picks up the real one. He opens it up so that you can see that this is the real thing that you were looking for, and sets it down on the table.
I'm going to pick it up and kind of scan it with my comlink, and though it's probably not really set up for this kind of thing.
I hold out my
serial numbers out.
I hold out my hand. May I?
I nod and hand it to him.
I examine it and then aim it at Jim. So does this one work?
This actually amuses me quite a lot. I'm not annoyed. I'm very amused.
Yeah. Wait, are you asking me? I'm sorry.
Well, you're Jim.
Oh. My bad. I was listening to what Zan was saying. Could you repeat that real quick?
I take the pistol, examine it, point it at Jim, and say, "Will this one work?"
He brushes it off to the side, and scowling at you some more. It's like, and says, "Are you almost finished with your business here?"
I aim it at something. I aim it at a display that's completely worthless, like a buy one get one free type thing, and shoot to make sure it works.
Okay, you destroy the thing that you were aiming at.
Ooh. Gee, I wonder why Velasco's in trouble so much.
I toss it over to Zan, and go, "Oh yes, that's fine Apistaean workmanship. You can't do better."
I nod and kind of look it over.
He says, "I'm charging you for that. You realize, right?"
As long as you charge him, I set it down the counter.
I pull out one of the cigarettes and hand it over to him. This is actually a big thing for us.
He says, "Okay, we're even. I don't know where you got this.
Oh,
but if you would like to tell me, I could give you a nice discount."
Fucking tell him.
I smile at Zan.
Oh, he's
so
speaking
polite.
in Drow, by the way. So
okay.
You can't understand this.
I'm just kind of glaring back and forth.
I smile and I say in common, Delta. Why, you won't have any trouble getting it there.
This is bullshit. There's no way.
I shrug. Well, then I wonder where I could have gotten it. And I walk out, winking at Zan on the way.
He does some rude gestures.
I toss down the weapon, and per the rules, that particular model is 3% more than normal. So I slide my cred stick, and I go ahead and pay for it.
Okay.
As I walk out, I'm gonna look over at Belasco. You know, I was gonna say, do me a favor. Don't do me any favors, but actually, that was pretty handy.
If there's one thing you can trust Drow to do, it's make an excellent gun. You just can't count on them not to overcharge you for it. You know, for a person who doesn't like my kind so much, I think you'll enjoy seeing more than one of us in the same room. We do more damage to ourselves than you could ever dream of.
No, I don't really have an issue with Drow. Not that we were on my ship when growing up. More annoyed with getting us arrested over a bunch of soulless robots, but that's a whole other issue.
I don't understand Thane's predilection with them. I mean, don't they just transfer to a new body whenever they die?
He's got a better moral center than me, so I will default to it, but I don't really understand it.
If my soul transferred to a new body every time I died, I'd be very unconcerned with my own physical safety. I'd be more worried about the things that are left behind with my corpse. That would get expensive.
Yeah, that's a good point. Beyond that, I'm going to kind of separate from him and head to a clothing place. Basically, to buy an industrial backpack and some travel clothes and some filled rations. So,
I, meanwhile, am going to sneak ahead of the group to get a look at the ship ahead of anyone. So, I'm out till we get there.
Okay. All right, so let's do a very quick shopping encounter with Thane.
Last but not least, I'm actually not shopping. I'll be chatting with Sparks as we're leaving the kind of talismonger shop. I'll go, actually, I don't have anything to buy, but I do need to ask you for a favor.
Of course.
See, I already mostly bought the stuff that I'm after in order to up-equip myself, because frankly, this super cool flight racing suit and this super tame pulsecaster pistol don't really cut it here on the station, and they're sure not going to cut it out in space. So I made some purchases with some buddies in the abolitionist front, and I bought this subroutine derouter and this decryption module and this one-shot thermite thing and a bunch of other stuff that I need, but I need you and your engineering expertise to put it all together in a way that won't ruin my family apartment. It's a heist.
But we're heisting stuff that's yours.
Well, technically it's my mom's, and she and Dad took the security closet security very seriously.
So you made a break into your closet. Your mom's closet.
Well, I mean, my parents' closet. It's not just hers. Some of Dad's stuff is in there too, but yes, it's mostly Mom's stuff that I need. Dad's travel kit and all that, the go-to bags and things like that, they're out in the open because they're safe and because Wayland and my parents encourage exploration. Tactical plasma bolters and heavy security armor, however, they kept meticulously under lock and key.
My dad had a security closet, but that was just porn.
So my 1,000 credits isn't actually used
what
for
kind?
anything. It's just what is used as my excuse, so that when we go showing up in the hangar bay where Belasco already is, or whatever, I've got a full-on tactical plasma bolter, magna clamped like to the back of the armor, so he can like reach up and pull it out. It's like a full assault rifle sized thing, and the armor itself is actually like heavy steward's armor, in that like cobalt blue that the stewards wear. It's like full, heavy military armor, but he's reprogrammed the like hollow projectors on the armor because it's their ceremonial plate, the officer grade. So it's got like a few inches out of the chest plate and like the shoulders where the rank and stuff should be. He's reprogrammed those like flashy hollow displays to the holy symbol of Waden, who is the god of space communism and freedom and exploration and teamwork and equality and stuff. Instead of
communism.
so that's kind of his like chosen symbol, instead of all the like steward bullshit, because if he still believed in the stewards, he wouldn't have dropped out of the academy. But yeah, so it's like super badass, like military plate armor, only he's like desecrated the rank symbols and stuff, so he's not technically impersonating an officer.
And before we did that, we had to go by a public locker where I had rented earlier. It's where I keep my like stuff, like my toolkits and my packs. So I clear it out because it's all going to go to the new ship now. And I tell them that they can rent the locker out. I'm done with it.
Thane will carry it for her. Because she's little.
Lean on me.
Because she's little and lockers are big.
Lean on me, baby.
All right, so let's go to the ship so that we can see what that is, and then we'll call it for today.
I'll be approaching the docking bay with a duffel bag full of my newly acquired gear as well as my old belongings about to much.
Okay. So the docking bay is in the Starfinder section of docking bays. Pretty easy to find, plenty of signage. And so you get there. Velasco, you're there first, but let me just describe the ship for everyone real quick. So this is a Pegasus class starship. It's an exploration type ship. It is mostly long, kind of boxy, but plenty of space that the design kind of provides is useful. It has weapons in the fore and both port and starboard, plus a weapon on a turret, which will be really useful, I'm sure. It is somewhat advanced due to being new, and like I said, it does have Sally on board to assist with what you need. The docking bay is kind of large, definitely meant for holding ships of a larger size than this one. It's kept very clean by all the dock workers there, and the ship's painted a very nice burnt orange color for its maiden flight.
All right. I've already made my way on board, and I am seeing how interactive the AI is and accessing the computer system.
Okay. So she addresses you when you come on board and says, "Hello, how's it going?"
You're awfully chipper for a robot.
Yeah. Well, better chipper than down, I guess.
Yeah.
What is your name again?
I am Sally.
And what does that stand for?
I am the Starship Artificial Intelligence Experiment.
There's no L in that.
What? Sure there is. Artificial. There's an L.
Okay.
See, right at the end, and then like on a display near you, it shows the word artificial, and then like it capitalizes the final L in the word.
That's awesome.
Squint at the ship.
Hey,
okay.
Look, I didn't name myself, just so we're clear here. You can blame the fun, technomancers and scientists that created me.
Oh no, we're fine. Show me where the quarters are. I want to pick mine first.
Oh, very well. If you turn to the aft, and then if you look on the starboard, there are 3 quarters, and on the port side there are 2.
I'm gonna pick something. I don't want to leave the group out.
Okay.
No, just go ahead.
Okay, so the rest of you, do you sort of like meet up and then enter together?
Yes.
I think
Okay.
it is just nice if we conveniently arrive at the same time.
Conveniently, that happens.
As I arrive, I kind of drop my duffel bag for a moment, looking over the ship, just kind of wide-eyed. Wow. Starship.
A new starship. Look at how shiny she is.
Taking over every square inch, just kind of looking it over.
What do you think, Zan? Can you fly her?
I can fly her.
I can fix her.
Well, then I think we're in good shape.
She
gonna-
looks really good.
Grab my duffel bag
Come on, let's
and
go
I
outside.
walk on board. Kind of the busy traffic around us, people walking back and forth. I just kind of ignore them all, focusing on the ship, tuning them all out. Probably hover sleds behind us and above us going to other docking stations.
Very well, yeah. Like people are happy to ignore you.
Go up front to where the. Is there a bridge?
Yeah, there's a bridge on the ship. Yep.
I'm gonna go to the bridge. I want to try out all the chairs and pick out mine.
Okay.
As I walk on board, I'm going to toss my gear into one of the empty quarters and then proceed to the bridge as well, after Sparks.
Yeah, so when you go up to pick out your chair, Sally starts talking to you and says, "Ooh, you should try that one over there on the left. There is a guard or not a guard, there is a construction worker that fell asleep there for a solid 3 hours and 45 minutes before getting up and continuing with his duties."
That sounds way comfy. I'll go take. That's my chair. Who's the captain?
Thane will clear his throat.
But the pilot's San.
I kind of walk in and sit down at the pilot station and kind of fill it out. This is right, yeah. Ship, are you conscious?
Well, I'm as conscious as anything with a conscience is.
She's full of answers like that. You turn and see
She's
I've snuck
awesome.
up behind you and I'm leaning against the door jamb into the cockpit.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I put my feet up on the console. Arms behind my head as I lean back.
Does that make you happy, San?
I am joyous.
This is the first time that I have ever seen you joyous.
It's the first time I've been on a starship in a long time.
It's orange.
Sure is. Sure is.
If they don't see
Short
you
of
coming,
what?
If they don't see you coming, they can't be afraid.
What?
I start, at this point I lean forward and start customizing the navigation consoles exactly how I like them, changing the various units that are used and the navigation protocols.
Nothing scares off pirates like bright colors.
I smirk at Thane. Nothing scares off pirates like being the second to take a shot.
Pirates are innately cowards. If you show them
Yes.
they're afraid, they're afraid.
Yes, their alarms make them afraid too. Where's it coming from? They cry. Oh no! I should know.
But
I'm
you
just
don't.
doing a job.
So, Zan, make yourself comfortable with flight and navigation. Sparks, feel free to go frolic about in the belly and get the engines ready.
Okay. Sally pipes up and says, I have the coordinates for the station that we're going to.
Very well, lay them out. Let's get this stuff ready and start powering this ship up. Start going through the pre-flight checks and then the early power-up processes.
Yeah, so the engines power up and there's a very low and steady hum of the engines. It's kind of relaxing, actually, the sound that it makes.
I kind of lean back, relax for once in years.
Belasco, let's get acquainted with the guns, but not until we're clear of the station.
Couldn't agree more. They're so
Dan's
touchy here.
smiling.
Sally, what the hell's looking at this ship?
Well, that's for you to decide.
I look back at the group. We're
Don't
better
let the
than
drow
name.
pick.
Out of character, do we want to decide that before next time?
Yeah,
Yes.
that sounds good.
I think we should get to know her before we name her.
I think she has a name.
What is that?
Whatever she chooses. She's not a slave, after all. I look at Kalgos, and there's not a hint of sarcasm as I turn and walk away from the cockpit.
He's a big thumbs up.
So, we power up and we leave the station looking all badass in our pristine new starship with a newfound
I
sense of
bring
harmony
this,
and purpose.
That's
Having
right.
empowered the engines up, releasing the docking clamps, I signal onto the tower. This is the Starfinder vessel. I give off the registry number. We are requesting clearance to leave station.
Clearance granted.
And I begin easing us out of the dock. Everybody else set? I look around.
I fasten my seatbelt.
I don't.
All right. So
I put my feet up in the crew lounge, far away from the cockpit, and crack open the bottle of spirits that I stole from What's-Her-Name's office.
oh my gosh. Okay. Fair. So you take off and leave the docking bay, looking back as the station gets increasingly smaller in your vision, bypassing all the ships surrounding the station.
All right, I pop in the drift navigation information. I calculate a few things, and I basically hit engage and throttle the engine all the way up as we enter the drift.
Yep. Hop right into the drift, and you're on the way.
The colors of Ethereum stretch before us, and endless adventure awaits.
Mm-hmm.
Huzzah! We're clear.
Okay, so that's going to be it for today. We're going to